coronavirus outbreak spreads to Europe from Italy as Greece, Croatia, Austria, Switzerland, and Algeria all report cases related to Italy. Italy, Europe's worst affected country, confirms 374 cases and 12 deaths. A hotel in Spain remains under lockdown after an infected Italian tourist was hospitalized with the virus. A World Health Organization official warns nations were, quote, simply not ready to contain the outbreak. In Japan, a woman who contracted the virus and recovered tested positive again. In South Korea, more than 200,000 members of a religious sect are being checked for coronavirus symptoms. Most of South Korea's coronavirus cases are linked to the Shincheonji Church of Jesus, an entity perceived as a cult. In Hong Kong, another Filipino woman tests positive for COVID-19 Thursday, February 27. The Foreign Affairs Department says the patient is in isolation and under close observation at a hospital. In the United States, President Donald Trump downplays epidemic fear, saying nothing is inevitable, contradicting U.S. health officials who urge Americans to be ready to cancel mass gatherings and work from home. There are 60 cases in the U.S. so far. Several events around the world are also canceled due to the coronavirus outbreak. Concerts by Korean group BTS and Japanese musicians EXILE and Perfume are affected. Sports events in Italy, Germany, Vietnam, South Korea, and China are either postponed or canceled. The Mobile World Congress, Venice Carnival, and Milan Furniture Fair are also not pushing through as scheduled. In the Philippines, Filipino priests mark Ash Wednesday with a bow and sprinkling of dust instead of a cross traditionally drawn in ash on the foreheads of the faithful. House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano says Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco is plotting to oust him as Speaker.
Nangangako ng pondo at chairmanship at yung iba siya mismo kausap. Diba? But as I said, pag nahuli, ano pa ba sasabihin?
Cayetano says he received information from 20 lawmakers saying Velasco and his allies in the House were already offering budget allocations and chairmanships to their colleagues under a Velasco speakership. Velasco denies involvement in the supposed coup plot. He says the reports were meant to create deep division within the House of Representatives and its members and derail the key legislative agenda of the Duterte administration. He adds he is a man of his word. Velasco also reiterates he honors the term sharing agreement arranged by President Rodrigo Duterte in July 2019. Cayetano is supposed to lead the House for the first 15 months or up to October this year. Velasco is supposed to take over as Speaker in the remaining 21 months. A retired Supreme Court Justice says ABS-CBN will have to cease operations after May 4 when its franchise ends. Retired Justice Angelina Sandoval Gutierrez contradicts Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara's informal opinion that the provisional permit from the National Telecommunications Commission would be enough for ABS-CBN to continue operating. Gutierrez was among the justices in 2003 who said the NTC does not have any power to issue provisional permits to broadcasters. Led by Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano, the House of Representatives, the body constitutionally mandated to issue franchises, is still refusing to discuss the bills for franchise renewal. Meanwhile, President Rodrigo Duterte accepts the apology of ABS-CBN Chief Executive Carlo Katigbak for failing to air 7 million pesos out of a total of 65 million peso political advertisements paid for by the Duterte camp during 2016 elections campaign.
I accept the apology, but fundamentally, really, ang decision nasa House ngayon.
In the Senate, neophyte Senator Bongo accuses Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon of politicking when Drilon filed a resolution seeking to allow ABS-CBN to operate past May 4 when its franchise expires. He says, "Why do we have to deprive the President of the power to approve or to veto? He is the President of the country." Drilon says Go is a neophyte senator and may not be aware of the tradition and rules in the Senate. The re-election machinery of United States President Donald Trump files a lawsuit against American newspaper The New York Times for an op-ed article. The suit by Donald J. Trump for President Incorporated says a March 27, 2019 column, The Real Trump-Russia Quid Pro Quo, is defamatory. The column appeared in the opinion section, which operates separately from the Times newsroom. The lawsuit comes after Trump's impeachment acquittal earlier this month for abuse of power related to pressure on Ukraine, which is fighting Russian aggression. A New York Times spokesperson says the Trump campaign, quote, has turned to the courts to try to punish an opinion writer for having an opinion they find unacceptable. Five-time Grand Slam winner Maria Sharapova announces her retirement at the age of 32. In an article for Vogue and Vanity Fair magazines, Sharapova says, "Tennis, I'm saying goodbye." One of the world's most recognizable sportswomen, Sharapova was the highest-paid female athlete in the world for 11 years up to 2016. Her story was the stuff of Hollywood dreams. Spotted by tennis superstar Martina Navratilova, the 7-year-old Maria and her father left Siberia for the US in 1994 with only $700. She shot to fame as a giggly 17-year-old Wimbledon winner in 2004. She adds, "After 28 years and 5 Grand Slam titles, though, I'm ready to scale another mountain, to compete on a different type of terrain." After her Grand Slams, she suffered one blow after another. She served a 15-month ban for failing a drugs test at the 2016 Australian Open and hardly played the past year because of shoulder problems. When she did play, she lost as many matches as she won.